Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Taurus for the month of June 2019. Welcome Taurus. Let's have a look at messages coming through for you for June. The first 3 weeks of June are in the sign of Gemini, which can be a very fluctuating month. However, just stay grounded as you do, Taurus, and let's see what's coming in. So the energy around you for the month of June is the Eight of Coins. Talking about staying grounded, Taurus, there you are. It's great. Eight of Coins is about, talks about working hard, staying focused on also not only your day job, but if you've got a particular passion that you also like to spend time on. It's usually the card of the writer too, actually, Taurus, the Eight of Coins. The documenter, the writer, the journal person. But it's all very interesting to document what's going on in your life. Okay, so hardworking, doing well, and sort of, yeah, the card of the writer. Let's see where you are right now, Taurus. Another 8, so the 8 of Swords. Take that personal power back, Taurus. If you feel like it's slipping away, just yank it back. Situationally, it's about, you know, saying yes when you mean no, really. The long and short of it is just sort of keeping your power for yourself and not giving it away to others. And note too, Taurus, that it is the card of Swords, so it's definitely that Gemini influence of air, communications, all sorts of things like that. Particularly could be well at the workplace, because the Eight of Coins does generally talk about workplaces or places where we go to, you know, rack up the money, where we go to be grounded and just, you know, sort of focused. So remember this well, Eight of Swords, Taurus. Don't let the personal power be taken off you in this month. Let's have a look at why in particular that might be happening. Well, the World, so yeah, the end of a cycle coming up anyway. And this card is the crossing card, so it will in fact influence the whole reading, so the whole 10 cards, plus the extras that we put in. So the World can talk about all sorts of cycles completing, but majorly one big cycle of, you know, maybe perhaps you're waiting for something new to do, waiting for a promotion, waiting to see, you know, this cycle, finish it off nicely. Take credit where credit's due. Don't give power away as well. But yeah, let's see what comes up later on in the reading about the new cycle that's going to begin, because this one's definitely coming to a close. And indeed, we're halfway through the year, really, coming up in June, interestingly enough, quickly enough. Let's have a look at the background of the situation. Ace of Swords. See more swords everywhere so far. So it's about, you know, new beginnings after difficult times. But basically it's mental clarity, Taurus. So keeping that in mind, that you have sort of got your mental clarity through whatever's been going on so far during the year, perhaps, or perhaps during your career, the ups and downs. But definitely a big achievement with the Ace of Swords coming through, sort of saying, well, that clarity has been achieved, so use it from now on in. Don't get yourself into scrapes or problems with your power, with your mental clarity. Keep it for yourself. I think you've learnt that too with that World there. So that cycle has been completed, so that lesson's been learned. So hopefully that will be, you know, one of your positive traits. to sort of really watch that swords energy, especially sometimes it can be, you know, it can be a bit negative. Recent influences, Queen of Coins, so your Queen, very grounded, things just coming into you anyway because of work already done. Reputation, very good with the Queen of Coins. She sort of lives off reputation, really. She's known to have had a lot of experience in doing things, especially around the home. She's very sort of grounded in everything that she does do. So therefore she's a good source of knowledge and hard work that people like to sort of communicate with, especially when things are a bit up in the air, which they might well be in June because of the Gemini sort of influence, the air. So, but you've come in as that, so that's really nice, and we've just come out of your birthday period, so hopefully you're feeling that grounded feeling that this particular reading is saying that you have achieved. The lesson you'll be learning in June. Page of Coins, more earth energy. So he's about adding value to what you already have. Very much research, adding another string to your bow, if you like, is the Page of Coins. Just that added value, that added bit of study or research that's going to add value to your career as a whole, or whatever particular project that you're doing this year or so far. So go with that. Can be the glimmer of a new job or a new sort of direction with career as well with the Page of Coins. But he's very positive, obviously. If that's a child in your life, well, this child's normally that very grounded child as well. Sort of very focused and earthed. Okay, let's see what is coming through in the near future. Wow. Knight of Coins. The slow moving energy of the Knight of Coins. So the, you know, your home sort of territory is very well represented in June. So it's obviously still the remnants of being in the stable month of Taurus, time of Taurus should I say, but really good. But it's a slow moving energy, so just remember that, especially through June. It's best to really back yourself with the Knight of Pentacles or Coins, because he is very slow moving, very committed, and he doesn't cut corners, neither does he get swayed off by these swords that are here. So he just sticks to his guns basically and gets the job done. Very slow moving energy, but a very sort of thorough, committed energy as well. So whoever this guy is to each and every one of you, just know that that's the energy that's going to help you get through the month of June, especially the first couple of weeks when we're in Gemini, which can be quite volatile, especially for the more grounded signs, the earth signs. Let's see what's happening that you're not realising. The Nine of Wands. So if there's something, you know, a project that you're just about fed up with and you think, when is this ever going to end? It's like the never-ending story. It's the project where you think you're just about there and then something else crops up. It's a bit like moving house. There's no end to the moving, to the cleaning, all that sort of thing. Well, that's sort of quite apt with the Nine of Wands, really, Taurus. So, but the end is near. So, you know, don't give up whatever you may think, especially with this Knight of Coins here too, and that slower moving energy. Don't sink into doom and gloom just because you feel like, oh my God, no, it's going to take longer than we thought. It definitely is. The end is near. Completion is near, basically, when you have nines. So it's just that sort of last little bit of the marathon to run before you cross the finish line. But it's good. You'll be exhausted at the end of it, but you will be happy, Taurus, that it's finished. How others see you. You are coming in over as the Knight of Wands. So we've got 2 knights so far in this reading. Knights usually being messengers of type, bringing in messages, or if we're involved with these people, they are messengers in their own right, so they're there to teach us something about ourselves and our growth. But others are seeing you as this sort of mighty Knight of Wands, who's very much that Sagittarian energy, that very fleet-footed, quick-paced energy. And it can change. He can change direction in the click of a fingers, this guy. So perhaps it's a good idea, it's a good omen that this is how people see you. It's sort of quite out of character, really, but it's excellent. Things can change at any moment, and you're fine with that. And I think you'll be quite happy to see that that's how others see you, because it's the opposite to what you really are with the Knight of Wands coming in. Could be travel and overseas travel, and sort of that more philosophical outlook too that you developed and that you're learning about too, Taurus. Excuse me. Let's see what you're feeling positive about this month. June, the Ace of Cups. And there's that, you know, glowing, beautiful cup of that emotional sort of really great new beginning where you think, oh, this is exactly what I was hoping for. Whether it be meeting a person or finding, or sort of having really a lot of success with finding something that you really are compatible with. It's very much a compatibility card as well. But it also has a strong air of, you know, it is meant to be. So go with that knowledge as well, that this is definitely something worth going along with, because it's a new beginning, and it's going to bring you a lot of emotional sort of stability, and just teaching you a lot about yourself, whether that's a person or a project. Future outcome, Taurus. 6 of Wands, so ongoing success and victory with work. 6s are always very harmonious, very balanced, sits in the middle. Everything's quite balanced with the 6. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's all good. But a lot of Wands too. You've got a nice mix of Wands and Earth, and a bit of a little bit of air. So it's really interesting that this is going to be an eventful month for you, Taurus, in that things will be moving but grounded, if that sort of makes sense. You'll remain grounded in this sort of somewhat, sometimes, as I said earlier, Gemini can be a bit tumultuous for some people. It's a bit like a bumpy plane ride. But you're going to come out glowing at the top of it and get through whatever you have to get through and remain intact and feel quite pleased by the end of it. I'm just going to pop a extra card on that page of coins, the added value card. And one on the Nine of Swords, because Nine of Wands, excuse me, because that's that almost finished the marathon card. Okay, so underneath the surface of the page of coins we have, as the lesson, the Page of Swords. How apt. Quite the opposite, really, the Page of Wands, the Page of Swords and the Page of Coins. So this one is, I call him my little pest. He's a bit of a nuisance sometimes. He can sort of really stir up trouble wherever he goes, but nothing's really concrete or earthed with him. So, you know, if this is your children, perhaps you've got an air sign, perhaps you've got a little earth sign, you know, this is this amazing combination of the two, sort of the intellect versus the sort of practical. Yeah, so he's underneath. So yeah, just remind yourself that's part of the lesson too. Things might get a bit up and down, and they're bound to in June, but always be solid and practical with your page of coins, because alternatively, there you go, this little one will whip up a bit of a situation for you. Okay, let's see what's underneath the Nine of Wands. The Queen of Wands, so how lovely too. So yeah, you're coming through really strong movement, very creative. She is very much saying what you think as well. She might be somebody in your life who's advising you. She's quite to the point and blunt sometimes, this woman. She'll just tell you what it is with no frills. She might be whoever she is. She's quite sort of creative, outspoken sort of woman. She says it how it is. So whoever she may be, just listen to her, because she'll just urge you to finish that marathon and say, come on, you know that you have to do it for yourself. It's all good with the Queen of Wands coming through. She's very fiery though too, so she's quite feisty in how she delivers things, but you know, all in all, she means well. Okay, let's just have a shuffle of the Buddha reading cards and see what the complimentary card, clarification card for you in May will be. Wisdom. Know well what leads you forward and what holds you back, and choose the path that leads to wisdom. As the Buddha taught, wisdom is the actual means by which we can purify ourselves. Just knowing this brings calmness and then faith, and eventually it brings truth to the light. So a lovely card for June. Thank you very much for listening, Taurus. Talk to you next month.